Good afternoon and welcome to Camping with Wade's RV. This is 102.3 KRMG, Tulsa's News and Talk. Skyler Cooper here on this Saturday, the day after Christmas. Hope you enjoyed the holidays and are recovering from a big meal. That's what I am doing today. I know hopefully that's the plan anyways, to have a nice big meal on Christmas and then relax over the weekend. Willie D joins me from Wade's RV. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I hope everyone had a great Christmas as well. And while I am here at Wade's RV, I'm the only one here at Wade's RV today because we are actually closed. Wade let us take a little bit of time off so then everyone could get with their families and spend a little bit of time and really enjoy just a little bit of the holiday season with them. So here at Wade's RV, we are going to be closed until Monday. So you'll have to wait to come see us. But if you are wanting to look at an RV, you are wanting to purchase one, maybe one of your family members came to your house that had one. Maybe they came over and they were telling you about how cool their RV is and where all the different places they were going were, but we can still help you. You can get on wadesrv.com and you can actually fully purchase an RV on there. So it's really cool. If you are looking at an RV, go ahead and go over there. We have a lot of great deals. And we also have every piece of our inventory. So you're not going to miss anything on the website that would be here on the lot or vice versa. So get on out there and check that out today.
You know, it's been a weird year since we've had to deal with the pandemic since March, really. And it makes me think about all the stories we've covered, not only on this show, but here on the station, talking about the devastating effect on some businesses and people and finances. But in a strange twist, in a very 2020 on-brand sort of thing, some people did better or found new ways to cope with things. And I think camping has been a good part of that because I know you guys have stayed busy and people have found a way to say, you know what, I'm just going to go out in the woods and I'm going to be safe out there. I'm going to get an RV and go enjoy it. So in one sense, it's created a whole new pack of people that have never considered camping before, and now they're probably hooked.
There's been a ton of people that have gotten into the camping lifestyle, and it's been something that's been really cool to see as the year has progressed. Is even myself personally, I've had a lot of friends that have come on camping trips with me, and they've enjoyed getting out and going out there for a little bit of time. But one thing that they've found, like you were saying, is they've really gotten hooked on it. So they've came out, they dipped their feet in the water, and they've seen what RVing and what the RVing lifestyle is about, and they've seen that, guess what? You can still travel, you can still get out, and you can still have a good time and still enjoy yourself. And that's what RVing really opens up for you. You can work remotely, you can play remotely, you can do anything that you can do at your house from your RV. And so it's been really cool. And this year we've actually been able to do the radio show since we haven't been able to be allowed in the studios. It's allowed us to actually go live at a lot of different parks and a lot of different locations. And so before, we used to do a lot of the recording where we'd post the videos on YouTube, which you can go on there and you can watch those as well. And actually this week I've actually uploaded all the other episodes that we've been doing. So if you did miss any of the episodes, you can get on the YouTube and you can find those. But it was really cool is we've been able to camp at different locations. And so we started out the year, I think our first one that we did was out at Hogan's Off-Road Park. That's been one of my favorite camping spots. It was one of my very first camping spots that I ever went on whenever I went on my very first solo RV trip. So it's near and dear to my heart, but we started out there, and that's a really great place. It's out there in Disney, Oklahoma, and Hogan himself helped set up a lot of that off-roading out there for the ATVs, the side-by-sides. Me and my friends, we always take a couple Jeeps. But it's a really, really cool park. And so we got to go out there one week. Another week, we got to go out to Robbers Cave. We talk a lot about that on the show. For me, I like to think of myself as a little bit of an outlaw, I guess. So I kind of always think it's really cool that all those outlaws are running around up there in those hills, hiding from the law. And it's just, you get to feel like you're walking through history. And so I've always found that to be really cool. And then we also did a segment at Sequoia. And Sequoia State Park is a really, really great park. It's really close to Tulsa, I should say. And it's only about, I would say 30 to 45 minutes away from the central Tulsa area. And it's really nice because whenever you get out there, you get to go out. It is remote. You are out there by the lake. And for me, one of my favorite things is a good camping spot. Throughout the year, we've talked about how you can actually go online and scout out your camping spot before you show up. And it's something that's been really cool as the year has progressed. The Oklahoma Travel OK site has progressed as well. And there's been a lot of different innovations. But at Sequoia, Sequoia, you can roll right on up. You can have a concrete pad. You can have a nice grill spot where they have those nice steel grills out there. Many times they already have a fire pit out there for you. And then the facilities, they have really nice facilities out there. And so it just makes your camping trip just a little bit better whenever you go out there. Everything is nice and clean. It's set up and ready to go for you. So that is one of my favorite spots. And we were able to go out there. Keystone Lake was another good one. I typically go out there. I'm trying to get a trip together here in the next couple of weeks, not to go out to Keystone Lake, but to go out to Lake Murray for my annual Christmas/New Year's camping trip. And so we went out to Keystone a couple different times. I always like to go out there to the New Manford Ramp. There's a lot of friends of Wade's RV that are out there. So we always like to go out there and have a good time. And then also, this is a little bit of a different camping location, but I was able to go out to Will Rogers Downs, the casino, and I got to do a little bit of what I would call casino camping. And what that is where you go to the casino and they have a park either attached to the casino or right next to it, and that way you can enjoy all of the things that the casino has to offer, whether that be the live music, the entertainment, the food, the beverages, anything like that, but you just are a short walk away. And so they let me come out there and camp out at their casino, and it was just a really, really cool time. I have a lot of customers that like to travel around, and just about anywhere you go in Oklahoma, you can find a casino. And so they travel around in their RV and they kind of go on a little casino tour, and they just have a really good time chasing different concerts and different events and things. And so I got to give it a try and see what that life was all about, because there is just so many different ways you can use your RV. And it was just really, really cool. And each of those different spots has a different thing that makes it unique to that camping spot, like what we were talking about, whether that be the location, whether that be the site, or just the experience. And that's what you'll find whenever you get into an RV, is that you have unlimited opportunities, and there's just so many different things that you can do with them. And so, I really encourage anyone, if you haven't gone out RVing, if you haven't seen what all that stuff is about, call your friends, because more than likely someone has an RV that you know. Get on Facebook and say, hey, does anyone have an RV that I might be able to borrow? Get on RV Easy and rent one. See what this is about and see what the craze is about, because here at Wade's RV, once you get hooked, we're going to help you stay hooked, and we're going to help you get into the very best RV that will help you accomplish the exact type of camping that you're wanting to do this season.
It's Camping with Wade's RV on KRMG. Skyler Cooper and Willie D. Earlier, you mentioned travelok.com, and I want to take a second to mention, it's in case anyone missed it, they have just finished up a really cool video series. It's on travelok.com, or I actually posted a link on krmg.com if you want to go find it there. They have a video series, Willie D, that is really cool. 52 episodes, just traveling Oklahoma and showing some of the great hot spots. And I believe they hit most, if not all, of the state parks, and definitely hit all the ones you just mentioned. I know they went to Little Sahara, because when I saw Lieutenant Governor Pinnell out there without me at Little Sahara, I was like, hey, man, how about an invite? But they went to all the cool places. They even came to Tulsa and Oklahoma City and hit some of the city stuff, too. But a great video series, for one, if people don't want to leave the house and they want to see what all Oklahoma's got. You get a little snippet that way. Otherwise, the state's plan for you is to watch these videos and then want to go there.
Yeah, you can see those videos. You're definitely going to want to go, because one thing I love about Oklahoma is there's just so many different terrains, and there's so many different places that you go. If you go to the western part of Oklahoma versus the eastern part of Oklahoma, you might think you're in a totally different state. And so by seeing those videos, it kind of gives you a glimpse into the spots. I always talk about, whenever I go on my deliveries, how I do a Google Maps so I can kind of see exactly what I'm getting into. I see a satellite image. These videos do even better for you. So before you pull into the park, you can see exactly where you're going, kind of the atmosphere you're going to be around, the terrain you're going to be around. If you're hiking, you want to make sure you have the right gear. It's just going to help you get a little bit better of an image of what this park is, versus getting online, seeing a couple pictures, driving multiple hours, and then showing up, and maybe it was what you were expecting, maybe not. But these videos are going to show you exactly that.
They've also got a lot of cool products out that we've covered on the show over the last year, and that's the Travelok app, which is really helpful. You mentioned planning. That's a good way to do some of it. And they have a separate app, the State Parks app. And this kind of thing, it's all integrated now. So you can plan your trip, you can pay for your spot or pay for parking depending on where you're going. Willie D, you don't have to drop $1 in the box nailed to a tree anymore. It's modernized.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Yeah. The old box nailed to the tree days are behind us. Thank goodness. And while it seems like it may have been convenient just to drop off your payment, it really wasn't. I mean, you had to make sure you had exactly how much you needed for that spot, go over there. And with this, you can set it up very much like you're making a hotel reservation. You can get on the website, you can pick your spot, you can pick how many days, you can prepay for it. And so you can just go out there and camp, because whenever I go out there, I like to go out there and I like to camp and I like to meet the camp hosts and stuff. But I don't necessarily, sometimes I want to hang out with people, but sometimes I just want to get away and I don't want to talk to anyone. And this really allows you to do that, where you can set up your camping experience. And if you want to go hang out with folks at the different campsites, you absolutely can. If not, you can roll in just like a bandit, park, plug in, and just get out there and unplug and unwind. It's just a really cool thing that you're able to experience that you can't do anywhere else unless you're RV.
It's Camping with Wade's RV, Skylar Cooper and Willie D on 102.3 KRMG, Tulsa's News and Talk. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's Camping with Wade's RV. You're listening to 102.3 KRMG, Tulsa's News and Talk on this day after Christmas. Hope you enjoyed the holiday and hope you are planning to have a great 2021. That's the plan, right? Is to have a better 2021 than we did 2020. Skylar Cooper along with Willie D at Wade's RV. And Willie D, you guys are closed down for the day, but let's remind everybody where starting, you tell me starting what day, when they can find you and where.
Well, starting Monday, we will be back open, and so you can come find us. We have 2 locations. The first one is at 121st and Highway 75. That's where we got our original start over there at the service center, and it's a really cool shop if you've never been. We have a full paint and body shop. We actually have a lift where they can lift a full 45-foot unit up in the air, and it's a little frightening, but you can walk underneath it. And we can do all the chassis work. We have a full part store, and so I always make a joke that if you're looking for a 1999 American Dream door, you can find it, because we got one there sitting over there in the parts store. We have a little bit of everything. And so if you're looking for a unique part that you think you can't find, give us a call, because Larry, he probably can track it down. He's kind of a bloodhound for that stuff. So we do have a really great location over there. And then over at 161st, that's where we have the Super Center. And so that's where we have a little bit of everything. We have parts, we have storage, we have service, and we have all of the great RVs that we have out here for sale. We have hundreds of RVs on the lot right now. And so it's a perfect time to come out and see us. And we're open until 5 p.m. in the evening. So we're open. We start the door and we open up at 8 a.m. and we close at 5 p.m. And you can come out and see us out here all week. So come on out and see us. We are closed today. If you show up at Wade's RV, it's just going to be me sitting in the Cadillac studios, and I can wave at you as you go by. Otherwise, come back out and see us on Monday. We'd be happy to help you get into your new RV.
Fans of the show will probably remember that from the beginning, we've always talked about Willie D's wall of fame, if you will, of every one of your customers. They'd like to send you a photo or bring you a photo from when they went camping with the RV, the unit that they bought from you. Well, 2020 might be posing a little bit of a issue with that, or it's a little harder to do, but let's just make it easier. You guys are making it easy for folks to send in their photos, and they actually could see themselves a little prominently.
Yeah, so this is going to be really, really cool. I'm super excited about this. So in the past, I have had all of my customers send me their photos from whenever they had their RV and they get to go out camping. I love to show people not just my adventures, but where you guys go as well. And so this is going to be kind of a new twist on that old idea. So what we're going to do here at Wade's RV is, if you have a cool camping photo, I need you to go to wadesrv.com, and there's going to be a tab and it says submit camping photos. I need you to submit those photos there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the very best out of that group, and I'm going to start putting them in our commercials. Here at Wade's RV, we have a slogan. It's called turning miles into memories. And that's what we want to show, is you turning those miles into memories. I have a lot of great photos on my wall, but they're not digitalized, and so I can't use those, and I want to showcase y'all. So if you go camping and you love going out there and you want to see yourself on TV, then send those photos in, because I think it's going to be something really, really cool, and you can sit around with your friends and family and go, hey, I was out there at Robbers Cave, or I was over there at Sequoia State Park, and you can go and you can kind of tell them it's something that's really going to be cool, and you can share your memories with the whole world. And so go ahead and hit online and go ahead and give us those photos. I think it's going to be a really neat idea, and I'm excited to see, for one, all the different camping spots people have been, but also the good times that they're having.
That's really cool. Check that out. The submission tab, photo submissions at wadesrv.com. As we're doing the show today, sort of Willie D, like a year in review almost of what we've been talking about all year on Camping with Wade's RV. And we've had a bunch of guests on, not only just camping enthusiasts, but the guys that work with you, people who work in the industry around the region and beyond. We talked to someone in Canada one time. That was cool. Let's remind folks of what all we've enjoyed talking about this year.
So we have had a lot of great guests and a lot of great people calling in, and it's just been a great year. And we've had a lot of great guests on here. And by having guests on this show, it gives a fresh perspective, and it also kind of gives an insight to what their RVing experience is really all about and kind of their take on it. And the very first episode, I was able to feature on Camping with Wade's RV before, but my very first episode that it was me and you taking it on full force, Skyler, I had one of my very best friends, Connor Perkins, come on the show. And there's a reason I had Connor on the show. And the reason why is because he comes with me on almost every single camping trip I go on. He's a big outdoor enthusiast and he really loves birds. So he loves getting out there and checking all of those out. And so I wanted him to come on the show and kind of talk about a few of our camping trips and what we do. And one thing I wasn't expecting was he let a few of my dirty secrets out. So most of the time, whenever people are thinking about camping and cooking and stuff like that, they think of, taking a hot dog, cooking over the open fire, sitting out there and barbecuing on that charcoal grill. Well, I do love doing that, but days and days and days, it can get old, and, weeks and weeks and weeks. And one thing that has never grown old to me has been pizza Lunchables and also bagel bites. And so whenever I go on the road and I'm camping, my fridge is usually full of both, and freezer for the bagel bites, I guess. But he actually let out the secret that one of my favorite camping foods is not s'mores and hot dogs. It is actually pepperoni bagel bites and pepperoni pizza Lunchables. So he came on the show and he was talking about that. And it was actually really funny. My very first camping trip that I went out solo, I've been camping since I was a kid, but my very first solo camping trip and the old Mini Winnie, we talk about the Mini Winnie a lot, but he was actually out there and we went out to Sequoia State Park. It was really funny. I wasn't aware, but with the Winnebagos, they actually have a safety feature where you have to have your key in a certain position. You have to have the emergency brake on before the slides go out. And whenever I showed up to set up camp, I was freaking out, thinking I broke the RV, this, that, and the other. Brennan Sloane gave him a call, and he said, no, just turn the key, put the brake on, and then you can put that slide out. Lesson learned back in the day for young Willie D in the RV industry. But we got it all set up, and he came out there with me. And that actually, Brennan Sloane, he was actually one of our guests as well. I've been camping with Brennan for years and years. We've actually been good friends since we were just kids. And at the time, whenever we had him on the show, he was actually the sales manager. He did a lot of different jobs throughout the store. He was a finance manager. He was in sales here. And then he was also the sales manager here at Wade's RV. And he left Wade's RV. We still get to see him quite a bit because he does transport RVs and he works around the store a lot. But he went out and he started his own company. So we're really happy for him. But he was the one that got me into the RV industry, period, day one. He's the way I got started in the RV industry, and I can't say I've regretted it since.
Gotta take a break. You're listening to Camping with Wade's RV on KRMG. Skyler, Cooper, and Willie D taking a look back, sort of a year in review of camping. We'll be right back after the news on 102.3 KRMG, Tulsa's News and Talk. Welcome back. It's Camping with Wade's RV on KRMG. Skyler, Cooper, and Willie D on this Saturday. Hope you had a great Christmas, and thanks for joining us today. We're taking a look back at 2020 a little bit and some of the guests that we've had on the show and some of the fun that we've had. Want to remind you too, Willie D, we're just going to have folks submit their photos if they're out camping now or they're going to be go camping in the future. Go to wadesrv.com and you have it all set up for them.
Yeah, so you got to go over to wadesrv.com, and if you are out camping, if you have a really great camping memory that you have a photo of, what I need you to do is get on wadesrv.com and go to the Submit Camping Photos tab, and it'll let you upload it right there. You can do it from your phone, you can do it from your desktop, and we're going to take some of those photos and put them in our TV commercials. And so whenever you see Wade's RV, instead of seeing my curly mustache on that TV, you are going to see yourself. And so it's going to be a really awesome experience, and it's an opportunity for you to get out there and show either your camping setup, the amount of fun that you're having, just show people the RV lifestyle and what it's all about. It's not necessarily a lot of people, they just go to an RV dealership and assume everyone camps. Well, I go out and camp, and everyone here at Wade's RV does, but that's not the case everywhere. And so we want to show people that this camping lifestyle, it's real. It's not just us at the RV dealership showing ourselves going out camping. People do it and they love it, because we want to make sure that this spreads. It's a great lifestyle, and a lot of people have enjoyed it. If you're listening to this show, the odds are you probably enjoy it. And so we want to spread the good news that, for one, you can still go out camping. There's a lot of different things that you can't do right now with this pandemic. You can't go to the movie theaters. You can't go out there and travel, state to state on airplanes and go to the big concerts and events like you used to. But one thing you absolutely can do is you can still go camping. And so that's something we want to spread the word about and share with everyone. So get on there and submit your camping photos, and you might just see yourself on the big screen one day.
That sounds cool. Check that out, wadesrv.com. We also want to remind folks, I think my favorite show of 2020 was broadcasting like we were camping in the new air there at the lot at Wade's RV.
Oh, it was super, super cool. So we've had a lot of different things happen at Wade's RV, and one of those things is that we're always growing. And with growth, you can't just have, whenever Wade started, he started carrying one travel trailer and one fifth wheel. Well, I'm proud to say here at Wade's RV, we have over 30 of the top brands, and that equates to having hundreds of units on the lot here. And one thing that we've been really privileged to have at Wade's RV is being able to hold that Newmar flag. And by being able to hold that Newmar flag, we are the exclusive dealer in Oklahoma for Newmar products. And with Newmar, you have to do hours and hours of vigorous training. You also have to be inspected by Newmar to make sure that not only whenever we pick a brand, we want to make sure that brand aligns with us, but they want to do the same thing a lot on their side. It's not just something that you can go pick up every day at the store. No, this is a very name brand, a very selective product, and that's why it holds so much of a name in the RV world, is because it's built so well and the standards that they have behind them. Here at Wade's RV, I'll give you an example. If you bring in your Newmar coach and it's under warranty, and I don't have an answer from Newmar within 4 hours, if I can cover that product under their warranty policy, it's cleared. Wade's RV has a green light to go ahead and fix it. And that's the policy that Newmar stands by, is that they want you to have your RV so you can go out camping. If you don't have your RV, you can't be camping. And so they want to get you back on the road, and they want to take care of their customers. Another thing that they do is on the window of your Newmar is there's going to be a picture of someone, and it's going to have their phone number, and you can call them 24/7, and that person knows that coach inside and out. They are very much that product specialist, that floor plan specialist, and they are assigned directly to you to make sure that they can help you. They are your Newmar representative. And so that standard of customer service is something that Wade's RV carries day to day. And so it just made for a perfect pairing whenever we started carrying Newmar. And one thing with Newmar is, so they have a lot of different brands within their motorhomes. They have ones that start in the $100,000 range, and then they also have some that are in the $2 million range. They have quite the spread on these. And so we've been able to acquire multiple different brands throughout the Newmar line. And so I'm proud to say we carry all the way up to New Air and Mountain Air within the Newmar line. And if you do need something higher than that, we can get it on order. It's just not something that we carry in stock every single day. And that's just been a really, really big badge of honor for us here at Wade's RV. And I'm really proud to say we've had that. We also were able to pick up Integra, which is basically the big brother of Jayco. So Integra is owned by Jayco. This is just the fancier version that has a few more extra parts, a few more amenities, and that's what we want. Whenever you're looking at the nearest competitor, it's amazing with these Integras is the nearest competitor that has all of this, the fit, the finish, and all of the amenities is going to be $50,000 more than what that Integra is. And that's one reason why we picked up the Integra Accolade, is because it has that side-by-side comparison where it blows the competition out of the water, and I can't keep them in stock. And so that's been really cool. And we carry the Integra Complete C line. And so that goes from just their normal gas rigs with the Odysseys all the way up to the Accolade, like what I was talking about, which is their big Super C diesel. And so we have all of those different products within that category, and it's just been a really awesome thing to see Wade's RV expand and be able to get these different brands that are really taking us to the next level, because it's helping us grow. We're not able to expand onto the shop, grow to new locations, or, even get more brands if it isn't for y'all coming and shopping at Wade's RV and making that decision to give us a chance to earn your business. And that's what it's all about, is giving us a chance to earn that business. And it doesn't stop with motorhomes. We've had a lot of brands across the board that we've added. So whenever you're talking about travel trailers, Sundance, that's been the newest brand that we've been able to pick up here at Wade's RV. And that is a laminated trailer brand that really sets itself apart by having high-end amenities, and it's really just finished out right. One thing that you'll see whenever you go through there, when you look at the showers, you look at the toilets, you look at the couches, you look at the sinks, you look at the finished molding, is that it's done right. You're not going to find the cheaper version of it. You're going to find something that you would more so find in your residential home. And so I got to go through one of those. We have a rear kitchen sitting up front at Wade's RV right now, and it's got an amazing floor plan. It's really open. It's got one slide in it. It's got a queen bed. It's got a bathroom in the rear, and it's got that rear kitchen design, like I said, kind of cozy back there as well. So it's got a lot of great separation, and it would just be a great floor plan to take out. It's super lightweight, and you could tow it with just about anything. The other brands that we've had within the travel trailer line is we've been able to pick up multiple different StarCraft lines, all the way from their stick and tin to their laminate units, which has been really cool. Catalina. That is a name that has been a household name for years and years and years. And Catalina has came to Wade's RV. And I love having that brand within our line of stick and tin travel trailers because it just gives so much more variation. So while Catalina may not have a power jack, you know what they do have? Aluminum fender skirts. They also have solid wood cabinetry. They have 5/8 tongue and groove plywood floors. Stuff like that makes a difference. And so it gives you a different variation where if some people want more of that heavier duty trailer that's going to have a lot more heavy duty versus features, I guess, if that's a good way of putting it, this is the unit for you. And I love them just because they are so durable, super heavy duty, and they're stylish. They have, 12-volt fridges a lot of times. They have fireplaces in there, and they're just a clean look. I really like it, and I really like camping in them. I can say I haven't had very many problems in them, taking them right off the lot, and that's something that I really enjoy with those Forest River products is that they PDI them before they even leave the factory. So at Wade's RV, we check your unit before it goes out, but that factory also checks it before it leaves Indiana. So it just saves us a little bit of time whenever it comes here twisting those extra nuts and bolts.
That's awesome. There's so much to choose from out there that you guys can. In fact, I love the fact you mentioned wadesrv.com earlier. You can see almost everything in real time up there because you guys are working hard to keep it up to date. Also up to date is your facility out there and the fact that it's growing. You guys are adding on not only here in town, but you're growing down the turnpike too.
Absolutely. So here in town, we've done a lot of different growing. So we added a new paint shop this year. We also added the whole new finance department, which is over there by the parts store. If you've been over here to the super center, it's pretty cool. It's kind of threw me off for a while because I used to be able to walk out the exit door, and now it's the finance department. So I just go back there, see Miss Shelley, Andy, and Doug, and it's pretty cool. But we were able to expand that stuff. We also, this is one of the most groundbreaking things. So Wade, he's focused on making sure that his customers have the best possible experience versus, if that's walking in the door, if that's buying a battery, if that's getting your RV fixed, or if you're purchasing an RV. And part of that is, finding the RV, going through finance, having delivery, but the presentation, that's where it all starts. Just like I said about walking in the door, if you're not greeted with a smiling face, usually, it kind of starts things off with on a bad foot. And by having this new concrete pad with all of the electrical plugins up at the front of the store, it has totally changed the shopping experience in the RV world. Many different times, I would always bring out like a jumper box and plug my travel trailers and my fifth wheels in so they had lights. Now, Wade's RV has a concrete pad with full power plug-in. So that means you're not only going to have lights, but whenever it's hot, you're going to have AC. Whenever it's cold, you're going to have heat. And it just makes your shopping experience that much better. And that means motorhomes, travel trailers, fifth wheels, we have them all on that front line. And so there's a little bit of it all. And so you can get that taste of it, but you're not going to be sitting there trying to find that perfect RV that's going to take you out so you can relax and enjoy time with your family and friends. You're not going to be thinking that it's, 90 to 100 degrees. You're not going to be thinking that it's 40 or 50 degrees. You're going to be focused on enjoying yourself and making the right decision for you and your family.
Camping with Wade's RV. We'll take a break here, wrap it up after this, talk more about that Oklahoma City expansion and a lot more with Wade's RV after the break on 102.3 KRMG. Welcome back. It's Camping with Wade's RV, 102.3 KRMG, Tulsa's News and Talk. Skyler Cooper along with Willie D wrapping it up for the day here. And thanks so much for listening to us today on this day after Christmas. Hopefully you enjoyed the holiday. Doing a bit of a year in review show on Camping with Wade's RV. And right before the break, we ran out of time talking about your expansion, Willie D. And the part we missed out on, we've covered before, but folks may not have heard it, is that you are expanding down the turnpike.
We are. So we talked about that expansion here at the store, here at the home base in Glenpool, but we're also reaching out our tree branches and we're going to the Oklahoma City area. And I am just super, super excited about this because it's allowing Wade's RV to take care of their customers better than we ever have before. And with that, what I mean is by being 2 hours closer, we have customers that come from all over the countryside. And by putting that location over more so towards that central part of Oklahoma, it's going to cut out hours and hours of driving time for many of our customers. And we are really excited about opening that up. And it's going to be opening up hopefully in March. We've already broke ground. We've already been working on that slab. The buildings have been ordered. And my favorite part of the whole thing is it's going to be a carbon copy of the Wade's RV that we have here in Glenpool. It's going to be a little bit bigger square footage wise, but for the most part, exactly where the offices are, exactly where the service center is, it's going to be exactly the same. So whenever you walk into that store in Goldsby, you're going to think you're right at home in Glenpool. I'm kind of wondering if I should get exactly the same office decorations so that it's kind of like, hey, am I in Oklahoma City or am I in Tulsa? I haven't figured that out yet, but it's going to be a really cool experience that we're going to be going down there. And it's going to be a really great service center as well. So if you need parts, if you need service, we're going to have it down there. And that's going to be opening up in March. Now, before March happens, if you need a little bit of Wade's RV action, we're also going to be at the RV and Boat Show coming up in January. And that's going to be January 15th through 17th up in Oklahoma City. So if you're up in the area, swing by and see us. I always get excited for this show because there's just, I like boats. They're really cool, but there's also tons of cool RVs. And Wade's RV, we've been able to bring 2 to 4 units in the past. Wade's RV is showing up and we're bringing a show. We're going to be bringing about 20 units up there and we're going to be coming with the deals. So we want to make sure that people know Wade's RV is here and we're here to stay. And so we're looking to blow them out of the water. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So I have special discounts from my manufacturers already put on these units. And so if you want to take advantage of these deals, I know there's a lot of people in Tulsa listening. Don't worry. You don't have to go all the way up to OKC. Come on into the store and ask to take advantage of our show pricing specials because we do have those currently on the market and you don't have to wait. You can take advantage of those deals right now and save me some time. Make it where I don't have to drive that unit up to OKC. I'll cut you even a better deal. So come on in and see us. We are having lots of expansion and I'm just really, really excited to see that because we couldn't do it if it wasn't for y'all.
It's also been a really great year of helping folks through some of their issues with their RVs and taking those calls and text messages where people want to know why their water tastes bad or why this or that's not working or how to get something fixed. Willie D fielded most of those questions, but for occasionally, we got to send those on up the ladder to the RV doc, Mr. Wade Reeves himself. So 918-291-1011 if you have those kind of questions moving forward. But as we wrap up here, we got a couple of minutes left, Willie D. A big theme of 2020 for you guys was not only camping and helping people get through those service issues, but also being out in the community and helping those less fortunate.
Yeah, so Wade, while we have been so blessed and we're so fortunate here at Wade's RV, from day one, Wade has always been focused on giving back to the community that has been, that has helped make Wade's RV. And so this year we'd had a really awesome year and we were able to give back to so many different people. And I was talking to Wade and I was actually working on some Christmas stuff. And he told me that we really need to focus this year on, not just the blessings that we've had, but also making sure that, everyone focuses on, making sure that, the less fortunate, the homeless and things like that are really taken care of. But check on your brother, check on your neighbor, check on your friend next door and make sure that they're taken care of as well, just because this year has been so difficult for so many people. And this year it was really cool. I was privileged to be a part of each one of these, but we were able to help out with the Blue Star Mothers. We gathered so many different supplies. They hadn't been able to go out and collect very valuable needed supplies to make sure that these get back over to our troops. They send care packages over there. So comic books, food, wipes, shaving materials, stuff like that. The comforts of home that we get used to every single day, they send that overseas. And so we are able to gather tons and tons of supplies Tulsa Tough, we're able to help out with that as well. We loaned an RV out to those folks. They raise a lot of money at St. Francis Tulsa Tough, and it's about breast cancer awareness and kicking cancer, and just a really great cause. And that kind of got turned upside down because there's usually, Crybaby Hill and all that, but they were able to overcome, and they had a event out at a ranch, and they were able to have a really cool time. I got to be out there with Malcolm and do that live, and it was just incredible. Saddle Up for Christ, we got to help out with that while it was canceled. We were able to help those folks out, and we're always happy to help them out every single year. And then here recently during Veterans Day, we had a big Veterans Day lunch, and so if you were a veteran, you could come out, and we were serving food. We wanted to serve you. You guys have served so much to us, and it was a small way that we could give back. It wasn't the sun and the moon and the stars, but it's just something that we wanted to do to show our appreciation. And so if you don't do the small things, you can't do the big things later on. And so we have just been super, super blessed, and we wanted to give back. And every single time, it just amazes me what happens year to year at Wade's RV. And I just wanted to say thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Camping with Wade's RV every single week. Make sure to come and see us and tell them Willie D sent you.
Sounds great. Remember, they're closed today and tomorrow, but bright and early on Monday morning, right?
Yes, you got it. Come out and see us on Monday. We'll be open until 5. And I hope everyone had a great Christmas and has a happy new year.
It's Camping with Wade's RV on KRMG.